guys, second day of the World Tournament. I figure now would be a good time to talk about the EZA LR Physical Cell. I've been doing pretty good in this World Tournament. You know, I've been able to get a lot of grinding in. I think Cell, his EZA can be a very good option. Now, remember that when it comes to World Tournament, one of the most important things that you want to do... Whoops, I don't have my thing on. So we'll do full power, pure Saiyan, and then full power right there. There we go. Okay. So one of the most important things you want to do in World Tournament is bring full LRs. Now, I think bringing, like, the SR, Jacko, and Chaozu is very viable, right, to save you items. But if you don't have to worry about saving items or anything like that, going full LRs will get you more points, right? Because the higher your team cost is, the higher the enemy team's team cost is going to be, which is going to net you more points, right? So you do want to go full LRs as much as possible. The one thing I guess that's a bit unfortunate for Cell is that I do not believe there's not a big bad bosses like LR that I think would be really effective. I mean, I guess we could probably say the Int LR Metal Cooler. We certainly could. Typically, I really like to... it's a Cell showcase. Let's let Cell go ahead and go first here. Typically, right, when it comes to World Tournament, I don't like bringing units unless they're either doing an AOE or they're supporting. Now, the Int Metal Cooler, the Metal Cooler Core, Metal Cooler Army... What are they called in Global? Metal Cooler Army, yeah. They do give Artificial Lifeform category allies 3 key and 30% defense, which would hit Cell. So Cell would get that buff. And he would get big bad bosses. So that could certainly be like a helpful little strat for Cell that you could use. And again, one of the main things that you want to go for here is team cost. So the Int LR Metal Cooler Army, they are a 99 team cost LR. That's why, like, I'm using both of the EZA Ginyu Force LRs, is because they're supporting our AOE units, and then they're also 99 team cost, right? Which I think is very, very important. That's why I still really like using LR Krillin as well, because, LR Krillin is a 99 team cost LR. LR Krillin is still just straight up one of the very best units you could run in World Tournament 2, especially if we do count that extra factor of him being 99 team cost, which is gonna get us more points overall. Krillin is a whatchamacallit, like, he double AoE supers, which is really powerful. That's why LR STR Broly, I mean, at this point it just seems like he's just, like, basically always going to be the World Tournament king, right? But Krillin is good too with the double AoE. Because like, I've never seen, like, since Broly got his EZA, I've never seen, like, an enemy survive double Broly. Because it's so common that you'll have a Goku family enemy. In my experience, even if the enemy team doesn't have a Goku family enemy, which makes Broly super effective against all types, a lot of times the friend, like the last slot is, like, a friend unit. A lot of times it's just, like, a Super Saiyan Goku or something like that. Right, which, you could be fighting a full, like, Broly AoE team that someone is running, but then you have that little Goku at the end right there, and then bam, that allows you to get the easy, super effective against all types, right? So, like, I think this team would be a good example of this. Let's see if that little unit at the end is going to be a Goku. We have Cell in slot 7, so we're not going to see him in this one. Yeah, dude, okay, thank you, yes, literally just what I was saying. This is what always happens, right? So it's like, yeah, this guy's running like a full villain setup, but then they just bring this little Goku at the end. Like, the AI, like, the Dokkan itself just added that little, that's the friend unit right there. So, like, that just makes Broly now super effective against all types, against the entire enemy team, right? Like, that's... Broly's EZA, they really did make him just, like, almost... Do I want to, like, call him the forever king of World Tournament now? Because, I mean, that's what it seems like, right? But I do think that this LR Cell is a pretty good unit for World Tournament, especially after his EZA. Cell didn't get the like, just Cell's, like, normal event damage, I feel like did not really change that much, right? Like, he goes from 90% attack at the start of turn to 120% attack at the start of his turn, and now he's greatly raising attack on his 18 key instead of regularly raising attack on his 18 key, right? But where Cell's got a lot of extra damage, I think the design was actually very well done by Dokkan here, is that he has this ability where he gets 1 key and it was 10% attack per existing enemy prior to his EZA. Now, the way it's working is Cell is getting, the key is actually too good right here. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But now Cell's getting 30% attack per existing enemy, right? So what's going on? The key was actually too good in this run. What the hell? Yeah, so Cell's getting an extra 20% attack, you know, post-EZA compared to his pre-EZA form per enemy on the field, which, if we're talking World Tournament, right, you're going up against 7 enemies. So, I mean, that's, what is that going to be? That's going to be 20% times 7 is the extra damage that he's going to be getting. So Cell's going to be getting an extra 140% damage just from his EZA against all the enemies up. So, like, that's good. I've been cycling through a couple of LRs, right? I think there are now a good number of LRs that could be very useful. LR Vegeta and Nappa can still be very effective because tech enemies are uncommon. I think in the future, Great Ape Vegeta is going to be a lot more prevalent. Currently on JP, I'm not really seeing a lot of Great Ape Vegetas. I think Great Ape Vegeta, he's actually been pretty good. I've had a couple of rotations where, like, him and Majin Vegeta actually work kind of well together, right? So, when Great Ape Vegeta becomes a little bit more common in the meta, okay, which is never getting Cell on rotation, it's fine. Whatever, we could do a couple of extra runs here just to make sure that we can get some more footage of Cell. But, I mean, as you guys can see, Cell was able to clear the fields as well, right? Like, Cell is not, like, an issue for us. And the other thing, too, is that the way they designed Cell for World Tournament is really good, where he gets just 1 key per existing enemy, right? So it's just like in World Tournament, you know, that first run, it's very easy for Cell to get his super attack, right? To get that 12 key super, you're not having difficulties at all. Whereas, like, you know, LR Majin Vegeta has to get his 18 key super. So typically, you know, what I do is I run the Chi-Lai item, which, you know, creates all the AGL orbs and gives them extra damage. And remember, every time you get like a same type orb, you're getting double points. Because remember, you get points for every orb you collect. Well, I guess it's essentially the way it works is you get points per key that you get, right? So that's why, like, so if, you know, Majin Vegeta is able to get, like, a full field of AGL orbs, he gets a lot of extra damage, right? So, and, like, I've loved that strategy. I found it to work very well. Because the other thing, too, is that Majin Vegeta, I think he does have a pretty fast AoE, right? Like, the thing about both Great Ape Vegeta and Raditz, physical Raditz, is that their AoEs are a bit slow. I do think Great Ape Vegeta is a solid unit, too. Because the thing about Great Ape Vegeta is, I imagine, would he be able to tank a super attack? I don't know. Great Ape Vegeta might be able to live a super attack, depending upon who it's by, right? Even without an item, which I think can be kind of valuable. But, like, I feel like 1 King Yama, I do feel comfortable with Great Ape Vegeta, so he could save us on items a little bit. Yeah, see, Cell just doesn't have any issues with Ki, right? Like we're completely good. So like, Cell is useful. There is a lot of value, I think, in characters like Cell, where it's just very easy to put him on the World Tournament team, and he's just going to contribute like this. Again, I think that when it comes to building your World Tournament teams, you really want to build full LR to maximize your points. So you don't have to play World Tournament as much. I mean, that should be common sense, right? Like, that's why I don't use the Jacko and Chaozu strategy anymore, because, you know, I have 5,000 plus Ghost Ushers and stuff like that. Like, it's just not an issue for me. Like, I do want to get as many points as possible, either get a high ranking or, you know, not have to just continue playing as much, right? Like, it's whatever. I think I would like a couple of extra potential orbs. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I would like to finish top 500 in this World Tournament, I think is what I'm going to go for. Since I'm already because typically it's like, as long as I get top 2,000, that's what I want. Because that would give me the rainbow for the new, you know, unit, whatever the new unit is. It's the Trunks, this World Tournament. As long as I can get the rainbow on the new unit, that's all I really care about with these World Tournaments. But getting, you know, top 1,000 does get you some extra potential orbs, which would be nice. I mean, dude, you global players, I feel like the global tournament is just, it's definitely easier to rank higher. I think one of the reasons is the extra day the global tournament often gets with length, right? Makes it to where it's a little bit easier to sort of like rank up high compared to JP Dokkan, right? But just a couple extra potential orbs would certainly be nice here. Do we have Cell? We're not really getting Cell very often in this run so far, huh? Let's just go Susher. Let's not even play that bullshit. Remember that, you know, when it comes to World Tournament, you don't even ever want to give your enemy a chance to even hit you once, right? The LR Tech Ginyu Force, this, I do wish that this unit had given a little bit of key with their support after their EZA, but they're still 99 team cost, which is the most we could be, and they are still giving Broly extra damage, right? Remember that the Tech Ginyu Force gives 30% to extreme class allies attack and defense. So he's giving Broly a little bit of extra damage. Although, I mean, I don't know that Broly even really needs the extra damage. Because, again, I've not really... I can't think of, like... Okay, so, like, a rainbowed EZA Broly. I've never seen an enemy, like, live 2 super attacks from him. So, like, that's the thing that's just very nasty about... STR Broly, right? We might just finish up this second run. I want to get it. I would love if Cell could be on rotation in like the finals or right here or something like that. No, the game is just not playing nice. Okay, maybe I'll do a third run because I'd like to get a couple more rotations of Cell if possible. But I mean, we've seen, right? Like those 2 million attack stats with basically like no links active. Oh, whoops, I should have hit the. Yeah, that's stupid. But, you know, those 2 million attack sets with, like, basically no links and stuff like that active are pretty effective, honestly. And, yeah, right here. See, I could let Krillin just go ahead and get this super attack right here. Krillin will clear the field because he's a double AoE unit. So, like, Krillin oftentimes can be trusted. It's just, you know, sometimes STR units could be a problem for him. There is that LR Broly right there. But, like, we'd be able to get another LR to super attack. Yeah, that Broly did survive, but... You know, even if Krillin doesn't finish him off, which usually a double super will be enough for pretty much anything, Ginyu is going to be able to super attack first. Yeah, there's Krillin. Remember, Krillin, do not sleep on Krillin. Like, Dokkan did people a big service by making him a prime battle LR that's easy to grind up, and he's, you know, like, if we just go... Wait, what? What? The name of that brother is Mr. Trout? No. If you know, you know. Dude, that actually broke my focus. I can't remember what I was saying, man. Yeah, double super characters are what you want to go with for sure, though. Like, if we're not factoring in the fact that STR is the most common typing you see, like fighting in the World Tournament, like Krillin is probably like the second best World Tournament unit. Like only Broly is one, because the guaranteed double super is just so good. Yeah. Most of these turns, like, it's not really an issue to super attack with Cell. It certainly would be nice if, like, you know, I think Grade 8 Vegeta is a modern character, so I could use him as an example, but it definitely would have been nice if, like, for Grade 8 Vegeta, they gave him an AoE on his 12 and 18 key super attack, so that you can kind of just, like, toss it out, right? That's the one thing about LRs, because, like, you know, LR Broly, you want to avoid the 18 key. Majin Vegeta, you have to get the 18 key. Grade 8 Vegeta, you have to get the 18 key. LR Cell, you want to avoid the 18 key, right? Like, it's just a lot of different things like that that are a factor. Now that, like, you know, this is... Dude, the World Tournament has been this way for going in on 6 years now. I feel like World Tournament was better before they added the 30 times difficulty and shit like that, man. Like, back then, it was just like, you know, just do as much as you can, right? Like, rather than, like, okay, like, if you ever take a hit ever, you're probably dead. Like, I don't like this style of World Tournament, because I remember I did a couple of those, the old school World Tournaments on. Oh my god, I gotta see, this is, wait, he didn't fight him? That's weird. But this is the stupidest. This is when, like, this exact map right here is bullshit. This is horse shit, right? This design, this is the worst goddamn. Okay, so look at this. Like, we start right there. These two cocksuckers they start next to each other. So they're just gonna waste our time, right? Like, let's get our asses over there fast, because this is just wasting. This is horrible design. It should not be like this. This exactly is what we hate. because it's like they just are attacking each other and they're literally just wasting your time forever. It's like I don't care. Like stop fighting each other. Like come for me, right? God, it's just insane. I guess they didn't allow auto in World Tournament. I guess maybe because people will probably fumble so much and get themselves killed or something. I don't know, dude. Or maybe Japanese players would complain that it's not honorable and you're not doing it yourself anymore or something like that. Dude, I don't know. I've got no clue. But I think World Tournament would be even if you could use the auto map movement feature. Like if you couldn't auto in battle, but you could auto on the map, that would help. Like that would be so much better. So it's like, okay, like I don't have to worry about all these like idiots like attacking each other on the map. Like it would be very simple to just like, you know, you do auto map movement and it just picks the biggest numbers to go towards the enemy every single time. Like, you know, you would be good, right? The only time that the enemy, I've never had it to where the enemy on the field has like evaded me the whole time. All the millions of hours of World Tournament I've done, and I've never had the enemy like lose because the enemy like I couldn't catch the enemy unit or something like that. Like that only happens if you're trying to collect some items sometimes. If you just go for the fight, you'll never not hit the fight, right? So, you know, if they just had auto on the map, you would be good, right? Because it's just like they're moving towards the fights. They're always going to pick the max roll. You've got nothing to worry about. You're completely good to go, right? I think that would have been very good for Dokkan to implement, right? The auto map movement, it's just so helpful, man, because it's like these big sprawling prelim. Look how fast! I guess Majin Vegeta's AOE is so fast, like, but these prelim sprawling stages are just like crazy. So yeah, you know, I've talked about a lot of the AOE units, you know. Vegeta and Nappa are viable. I think LR Great Ape Vegeta is definitely viable. You don't want to use shitty Raditz, the TUR 200% leader. He sucks ass. LRs is what you want to go for. Again, Great Ape Vegeta I've found to be pretty effective, right? Because the other thing about Great Ape Vegeta, remember that he is way different if you're fighting a Goku. That Great Ape Vegeta is actually like twice as good when you're his intro animation actually helped him out so much, that Vegeta, and you fight Goku nearly every single run in the World Tournament, right? Like, even earlier in this video, I already made the point of that the little friend is, like, oftentimes a Goku, right? It's like, even right here, boom, God Goku right there. So, you know, well, I didn't need, damn it, I meant to go for the Fruit of the Tree. I didn't need to use the Ghost Switch right there. But, like, you know, Great Ape Vegeta is very viable because you're going to have that intro animation almost every single, like, fight, right? Which gives them the extra key, the extra damage. You know, you oftentimes do have to use, like, a Fruit of the Tree of Might or something like that with him, but, I mean, there's a lot of times with Broly where I have to use, like, a key-up item as well. So it's not like it's only a thing with, like, Great Ape Vegeta, right? He could be effective. Again, Vegeta and Nappa. What other AoE LRs are there? Again, I would just say to mostly focus on the AoE LRs, though. I think that's the biggest thing. So, like, Majin Vegeta, Vegeta Nappa, Great Ape Vegeta. Obviously, in LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, he has that AoE active skill, but you're not getting that in World Tournament, so that he's not an option. LR SCR Broly, of course, he's, you know, the king of World Tournament forever. Physical Cell's great, but, like, that's what, you know, the whole point of this video is. And I think that covers all of the World Tournament units, and then Krillin. Like, those are the ones to focus on. Bringing some LR support type units is definitely not the worst idea, too, for 99 team costs and stuff like that. So, let me know what you guys think of LR Physical Cell in the World Tournament in general. Physical Cell's EZA makes him a little bit better in World Tournament. It's not like he doesn't make World Tournament like 500,000 times easier, but he's definitely a very consistent option, right? Like, I got no problem running him. But, like, a lot of these, like, LR AoE units, I feel like there's not really too much separation between them, except for Broly is king, Krillin is number 2 because he also double supers, and then I feel like the Vegeta and Nappa can be pretty effective because there's not often tech enemies, right? Like, in this video, how many tech enemies? I feel like we haven't fought very many tech enemies that I've seen. I feel like we haven't. Maybe I haven't been looking that close, but, so because of that, there's not as many type disadvantage characters to slow down Vegeta and Nappa, right? Like, the only major sort of, like, AoE unit that's tech is Great Ape Vegeta, and I think because he's relatively new on JP, people don't really have the Great Ape Vegeta, right? I have not seen... I don't think I've seen Great Ape Vegeta even once in this tournament. Maybe. I'm sure I did at least one time, but he is definitely not common, right? So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.